too much at this point in time. If that is indeed, they may be looking at left sides while they're getting fuel, depending on how long they're going to be out there.
Yeah, that's what I would be looking.
Oh, trouble.
Gosh, what a hard.
Ryan Newman, hard into the wall. Michael McDowell, hard into the wall.
Caution's out, caution's out.
Terrible crash. That difficult spot between the exit of the carousel and turn 6. You saw Newman tried to drive, it looked like, for a second, and the left rear tire just fell off, now dropping the window net. And that's Michael McDowell. Look at the damage and how hard he hit that guardrail.
See the window net down now on the 31. That's good to see.
That 31 hit the safer barrier. That's the guardrail where the 95 did, but the 31, reminiscent of Jeff Burton was driving this 31 car a few years ago.
Destroyed the guardrail right there where McDowell hit.
Wow.
Yeah, is that a tire up on the fence?
Yeah.
That is McDowell out of the car, and there you see Newman walking toward McDowell's car. So both drivers have come from the car. The field is being red flagged, and the race is being stopped.
This looks like right here. It looks like part of the rear suspension.
They just broke the rear end housing in half.
And you see Michael getting up after catching his breath. Wow, what a great sight.
Sure is.
What a terrible crash.
Another example of the safety of these cars that NASCAR and these teams put on the track today.
Well, this part of the racetrack, you see the funnel between the guardrails. And if someone gets out of control exiting that carousel corner, it's not going to be good. We've seen this before. We just saw it again.
Yeah, you look right over here. You see, like not Ryan Newman overran that corner just a little bit. You see quite a few cars over there. So come back on the track. Contact between Biffle and Newman.
Yes, Biffle came back on the track. Newman was right there. Got into him and hard into that guardrail and the tires. Sends him back out in the middle of the track here into McDowell.
You see the rear end housing loose from the car, and then it goes over the fence. Well, that last impact for McDowell was the one that probably knocked the wind out of him.
What a piece of driving by David Reagan, sliding through there between those crashed cars.
Coming right at you now.
From Regan Smith. Danica Patrick's view.
Back it down, back it down, back it down.
Well, she did a good job, too.
Nice job. I just saw that on TV.
Yeah, that wasn't much time to react at a high rate of speed by her there. Good job.
Watch it, back it down, back it down, back it down.
Biffle coming back on the track that made Newman try to avoid running into him.
It's just hard to appreciate how much speed you're carrying out of that carousel until you see that happen.
Yeah, you're well over, I would say, definitely 130 miles an hour.
What a mess. The trouble began when Greg Biffle had troubles coming off that carousel corner, resulting in contact with Ryan Newman, and Newman's car hard into the barrier, collecting Michael McDonald's. This, the view that we caught on Greg Biffle's radio.
Glen in the bus stop pretty wide. They'll stop it because the guy's in front of me, and there's nothing I could do, you know? And there just wasn't any room for barely room for 2 cars through there. And they hit both sides of the front end.
Greg Biffle's explanation to his team.
Yeah, and there's no way that we're putting the blame on Greg Biffle for what happened by any means. They're racing hard off the corner, and we've seen dozens of times throughout this race where the driver in front gets off. But it just, in this case, it made another driver in Ryan Newman try to take an evasive action not to run into the back of the 16 car, and when he did, he lost control of his car.
But it almost sounded like it started earlier, like in the bus stop, and I don't know what kind of incident that caused and what transpired from there.
Yeah, I heard 3 wide, and that's not going to work pretty much anywhere around here.
Well, let's look overhead. Back as far as the bus stop. That's the leaders up in front of the incident. We'll see it unfold off the corner here.
See McDowell's car up on his side there for a minute.
When it hit Newman's car and it ripped that rear end housing loose, that rear end housing got under the car and almost served like a pole vault to launch that car up in the air. Well, at least 5 cars involved and taking damage in the accident, 2 seriously, but both Ryan Newman and Michael McDowell have climbed from their race cars.